So today I'll be talking about JSTL and expression language. And from tomorrow we'll see Hibernate framework. So JSTL means JSP standard template library and expression language. Okay. So yes, this is the last topic of your JSTL. So we'll finish it. Then we'll start with Hibernate from tomorrow. So Monday morning, as usual, attendance will be less, of course. Um, you know, in the last class, we saw that the in the J space we can completely avoid writing the Java code, right? Yes. So actually, it is recommended that we avoid writing the Java code in the J space because if we avoid Java code in J space, then the J space they will be a lot easier to develop. I can say even non-Java developers will be able to work with this JSPs. Okay, even non-Java developers will be able to work with this JSP pages. So of course JSPs, you see, generally we use them to develop web pages, right? Not only Java developers but even web designers and all will be involved in development of such web pages. So here that's the reason why there is a need to avoid Java code. But if we avoid Java code in the JSPs, then how can we access the Java objects in the JSP page? How will you able to present the data, read the data from the Java objects and present it? Yes. Again, that is going to be an issue, right? Yeah. So, so that is where your JSTL will come into the picture. So JSTL is going to help you people to replace the Java code. At the same time, it provides the features which we need to access the Java objects, okay, in the JSPs and all. So, for example, you know what here, um let's say in the JSP page, for suppose you need to read the elements from the collection object. Let's say a servlet will pass on a collection object to the JSP. Now, how the JSP will be able to read the elements from the collection object? Generally, if you want to read the elements from the collections, so what you will do? Yes, how will you read the elements from the collection? How will you read the elements from the collections? Yes. So you need a for each loop or an iterator to read the elements from the collection, right? You need a for each loop or an iterator. So that for each loop, you'll find that it is provided by Java, right? Or even iterator is part of your Java API. Yes. So now without using Java code, how can we access this for each loop? How can we use this for each loop? Okay. So that is where JSTL will provide you such support. It provides looping constructs and it provides conditional constructs. You know, JSTL is a tag library. I'm sorry, it's not template, but it's a tag library. JSTL is a tag library. So when I say it's a tag library, so what does that means? That means you'll find that in JSTL you'll have tags. You'll have tags. So these tags they look similar to your HTML tags. I can say they look similar to your HTML tags. Yes. So each tag has got a specific functionality which you can make use of here. Okay. Yes. Now, if you want to use this JSTL, first of all, you need to make sure that you download this JSTL libraries, okay, and add them to this project. Actually, there are several options to obtain this JSTL libraries. Okay, we got various options uh, to obtain this JSTL libraries. So one of the options is you'll find that you got JSTL to download that JSTL to add that JSTL. You got that support in the Eclipse ID itself. Okay, one of the options is in the Eclipse ID. So what you can do is you select this project, in which project you want to add this JSTL libraries. Select the project, right click on it. You have this properties option here, right? Properties. Under the properties, you'll find project facets. You see project facets here. Just follow my cursor. Project facets. So um, all of you, I just want you people to check this option. Do you see this option in your ID? Tell me. Do you see this option? Right click on the project and you should see project facets. Let me know whether you are able to see this option in your ID. Otherwise, I'll tell you a different option. Okay, sure. Check that. Yes. So did you people find that option? No. So what about others? Even you people didn't find that option. Okay. Okay, fine, no problem. Okay. So you see, for few people there is that option, and for few people you don't have that option. No problem. If you find that option, you can simply check that option. Okay, you check that option, and that wizard will simply add the JSTL libraries. If you check this option, you see JSTL option. So it may show you have option further configuration required. So you can just select that Sun implementations. That's it. Otherwise, so the standard option I'll show you people. No matter you're working with which IDE. So what you can do is here you can download them from the official site. Yes, JSTL official site is there. So if you find that option, you can check that option. It would be easy to add that libraries through that option. Otherwise, you see, go to this site. You'll find download option here. You see, click on download. Yes, this is the page, direct page to download that JSTL libraries. So I pasted that link in the GoToMeeting chat. You can take it. So here, you see in this page, you'll find two download links. Two download links are there. One is JSTL API, JSTL implementation. So now you have to download both the jars. Okay, you have to download both the libraries, JSTL API as well as JSTL implementation. So first click on JSTL API. Just a second. So click on JSTL API. Make a note of this. You may forget later on. So click on this JSTL API. Once you do that, you see now you land into a page where you'll find a lot of download links here. Okay. Now out of this, you see you have this link, right, which I have highlighted here. Check this. Okay. So just check that option. Select that. Click on that option. You'll get that jar file. Java x.servlet.jsp JSTL hyphen API hyphen 1.2.1.jar. Yes. So that is a jar file which you need to download. Yes. You click on this jar. Okay. And you should be able to download that jar file. Next, after you're done downloading the jar file, go back and again click on this JSTL implementation jar, implementation link. If you click on that JSTL implementation link, again you see you land into this page and you have to download this jar file which I've highlighted here. They are different, okay, they are not same. People may think that these two jars are same, but they are not same, they're different. Okay, yeah. Just download that jar. Yes. Okay, fine. Now you have to make sure that you add those two jars here to this project. So it's a web application, right? So where you will add the jars generally, if it is a web application, where you will add the jars or libraries after downloading them. So where you will add them. So you should add it to the lib folder. You'll find the lib folder here. You have to add it to this lib folder. Okay. Yes. Just a second. You see, uh, I have also downloaded those libraries. I have them here. You see, these are the two jars. Copy them where you might have downloaded it somewhere, right? Copy them and make sure that you add them to this lib folder here. This way. Okay. Always in the web application, you have to add the libraries to the lib folder. Please remember, you need to add the libraries to the lib folder. Yes. Okay. So once you're done adding that libraries, now you can start using that JSTL libraries. Okay. JSTL. Now you can start using this JSTL libraries. Let's see how to do that. So first of all, again, you need to import that JSTL libraries. Okay. For suppose, sorry, let's say I want to use that JSTL libraries here. So first of all, you have to import it, and for that you'll use this taglib directive. You see, if you people remember, in the last class, as I told you, people, you have three different types of directives: include, page, and the third one is taglib. And you see, this is the third directive which we'll be using here. Um, the purpose of this directive taglib, it is used to import the tag library, JSTL tag library. So we are importing JSTL tag library. You see, for every tag library, you'll have a URI. URI is a string, you see, which uniquely identifies that tag library. URI is a string which uniquely identifies that particular tag library. Okay, yes. So now, again, you need to add a prefix here. Prefix, it can be anything. What is prefix? Prefix is a kind of a reference to that tag library. Generally, you see, uh, we use an object reference to refer to an object, to access an object, right? Similarly, for the tag libraries, you'll have a prefix. So to access the tag library, you need that prefix. So what is the prefix here? C. So it is user defined. It need not be C. Sorry, it need not be C. So you can use any other tag for that. Sorry, prefix for that purpose. You can use any other prefix for that particular purpose here. Yes. Okay. Now we got this tag library. So we have imported it. So actually, the tag library, JSTL tag library, which we have imported, is core tag library. You will find that again, this tag libraries are different types. JSTL tag libraries of five types. One is core, the other one is function tags. You have formatting tags. You have, you know, SQL tags, and XML tags. But I will be talking about that first four tag libraries here. Okay. So the last one I'll leave it you people. So we got four. Now we got five different types, but we'll be talking about four. Okay. So you see, now we'll start with the first tag library, that is core tag library, I can say. We'll start with the first tag library. So which is core tag library. Yes. Okay. So now one of the tags which you got here is a set tag. See, I'm using this prefix C followed by the tag name. You know, this tag, set tag, is basically used to declare a variable. So if you want to declare a variable here, you see, we can use this set tag. So we got that var attribute, so which we use to declare a variable, and we can assign the value to that variable here. Yes. Okay. Yes. So you see, without using the Java code, so basically we want to avoid Java code, right? Using Java code here. So that is what we are trying to do. So without using the Java code, we are trying to declare a variable using a tag. You see, this tag looks like a HTML tag, but this is not HTML tag. So this is a JSTL tag. Okay. Yes. And for this tag, you'll find that you have a tag handler, which is a Java class. Internally, you'll have a tag handler, a method, which has got that functionality. Yes. So now we are declaring a variable here. Okay. Yes. Next, what if I want to read the value which is stored in that variable? So we got a value which is stored in that variable, right? What if I want to read the value? Then what to do? You know, for that we can use a expression language. Expression language. You see, dollar of a. That's it. Sorry. So wherever you see this expression, dollar of flower brackets, dollar of flower brackets. So you need to understand that it's basically expression language here. Okay. So now let's run this code. So I'll deploy this application on the server. Yes. You see, I'm executing that JSP. So we are able to read that variable value using that expression language. So without using the Java code, we are able to declare a variable, not only declare a variable, but also you see we are able to read the value which is stored in that variable here. Okay. Next, I'll show you people the other tags here. So we got tags like, for suppose, let's say, you know, I got an array. Yes, let's say this is an array. You know, say this array. So I will add it to the request scope. I'll add it to the request scope. Assume that that array, it is passed on to this JSP from a servlet. Just assume some other servlet or JSP is sharing that array with this JSP page, let's say, which is in the request scope. Yes. Okay. So now this JSP is supposed to read that object from that request scope, read that array from the request scope. Not only read the array from the request scope, but it should also read the elements from that array as well. You have to read the elements from that array. Yes. So now without using the Java code, we'll try to read that array from the request scope. Not only reading the array from the request scope, but we'll also read the elements from that array. Okay. Yes. So this is where your JSTL and expression language will help you out. So let's see. So you got a for each tag here. For each tag, to this for each tag we have to pass that array reference. So how will you pass the array reference? You see, we got item attribute. So now you can read that array from that request scope using this expression. You see, items equal to dollar of brackets names. That means that object with the names, you're trying to read it. Okay. Now we don't need to specify the scope details here, no matter it is in which scope. Okay. No matter it is in which scope. It might be in any scope. Doesn't matter. So we'll be able to read that object from that scope using this expression language. So we are reading that object from that scope, and we are supplying it to the for each loop here, for each tag. I'm sorry, this is a tag. So for each tag, so we are supplying it to the for each tag. You know what? I can say that this for each tag is very much similar to your for each loop. It is very much similar to your for each loop. Yes. So for each loop, you see, it takes that array reference. It's a kind of automatic loop, right? So it will iterate and accordingly it will read the elements from that array for each iteration. But so it, now how many times it iterates, it depends on the number of elements in that array. So if you got 5 elements, then for each loop will iterate 5 times. So for each iteration, it reads one element. And that element's reference, it will store it in a temporary variable, right? So here also we can declare a temporary variable. Okay, let's say n, something like this, temporary variable. Now we can read the values, oh sorry, that for each loop, for each tag, what it does. So it reads the elements from that array. So for each iteration, it reads one element and will store that element into this temporary variable. Okay, yes, n. It will store that value into the temporary variable n. Yes. So now let's read that value which is stored in the temporary variable n this way. After printing that value, we'll use this pr tag to break that line, to move the cursor to the next line. Okay, that's it. So let's run this code once. Execute this JSP page, test page. Easy. So you got all the elements from that array. So using the for each loop, we are able to do this. Yes. Yes. So is it clear for you people? Any questions? Please let me know. Okay, good. So now let's move on. For suppose, let's say we got a collection object. If a collection object with some user defined objects is passed on, not simple elements like strings. Already we have that example. So the first day itself I was showing you people. So let me show you people this once again. You see, we got all product servlet. All of you, I need your attention, please. Now you see this servlet, what it is doing, it is fetching that list of sorry, list of product objects from the database with the help of a DO. Now in that list, you see the products list, it contains the product objects. You got list of product objects here. Okay, you got list of product objects. So now this servlet, it will not display this product details which are in that products objects. Okay, so this servlet will not read that elements from the list. Product elements means here the product objects. It won't read them from that list and it will display them. Instead of it is delegating the task of displaying that product records to the JSP. See, for that, this servlet is adding that products list to the request scope. It adds that product list to the request scope. So after adding the elements, sorry, after adding that object to the request scope, you see, it is forwarding the request to the JSP by using this request dispatcher object here. So it uses request dispatcher object here for that purpose. Okay. So now the JSP, what is the JSP name? You see, it is products view JSP. Now that JSP, it is supposed to, what it is supposed to do? Now it is supposed to read that products list from that request scope. It should obtain that product list from that request scope and then read the elements from that products list. It has to read the elements from the products list. Yes. Read the elements from the products list here. So you see, this JSP, first of all, to read that products list from the JSP, it uses this expression language. See, dollar of angular brackets, in the brackets it specifies that object name. So that object was added with which name? That name, it is passed on here. So what is that name? Products. Yes. Now the expression language will read that list from that scope. No matter it is in which scope, it doesn't matter. So it has a capability to search for that object in any scope. Yes. It will search for that object in any scope. Yeah. So after reading that object here, it supplies it to that. Now it is passed on to that for each tag here. You see, we are passing it to the for each tag. And one more thing, using this var attribute, you are declaring a temporary variable here. Using that var attribute, you are declaring a temporary variable. Yes. So the temporary variable will be used by that for each loop, for each tag. I'm sorry. The temporary variable will be used by that for each tag. So for each iteration, the for each tag will read a product object and will store that product object reference in this list here. Sorry, in that variable, temporary variable. I'm sorry. It will store that product object reference in that temporary variable product. So for each iteration, the for each tag will read exactly one element, I can say. It reads exactly one element. Yes. Okay, so now here, using that reference, we'll be reading the data from that product object using the expression language again. You see product dot id. So we will specify the property name here. That's it. Internally, the getter method is invoked. Internally, the getter method is invoked here. Okay. Yes. So when that getter method is invoked, what it does, it will return that value which is stored in that property. Getter method will return the value which is stored in that property. That's it. So one important thing. So the objects which you're using here with this expression language, make sure that they are Java beans. Make sure that they are Java beans here. Okay. Yes. Make sure that they are Java beans. Yes. Okay. So now we are reading that product details and we are printing it here. That's it. So this code which you have written here between this for each tags, how many times it executes? What do you people think? The code which you have written here between that for each tags, how many times it executes? Now it depends. Need not be 4 times. I'm I'm talking about that whole code. How many times it iterates or how many times it executes? It depends on the number of elements which you got in that collection. It depends on the number of elements or the objects which you got in that collection. So if you got 10 elements, then you see this code will iterate 10 times. This code will iterate 10 times. If you got 20 elements, this code will iterate 20 times. Will execute 20 times here. So it depends on the number of elements in that collection. Yes. So is it clear for you people? So now this is how you see we can use this for each tag, that is JSTL, and also we're using expression language as well here, both for each tag, that is JSTL as well as expression language together. Yes. So expression language will help us to read that objects, Java objects and all. So that is what that is a role which is played by the expression language. Yes. Okay. So let me run this code once. I'll show you people. I'll call that servlet. So using that URL, all products. Sorry, let me check the URL. This is all products, right? No, it's not working. let me redeploy this application once. Okay. So we got all the product records. So they are displayed by the JSP here now. Okay. Now we got other tags also here. Okay. So let's go through the tags. Yes. So here we got conditional tags also. Okay, let's see this. Let me declare a variable using set tag. You can do that, right? Sorry. Say we'll use this if tag. Dollar of if a is greater than, let's say, 100. So we can write a condition. You see, we can build that expressions, that Boolean expressions and all, using expression language. So expression language, in the expression language, you got this operators, I can say. In the expression language, we got this operators. Yes. So now I'll print a statement. A value is greater than 100. So if this condition is satisfied, then only whatever the statements you have here between this if tag will execute. Only if that condition is satisfied, then only, so whatever the statements which you got here between that if tag will execute. Okay, yes. So now in this case that condition is false. So the output will be simply blank here. Okay. You see, the output is blank because the condition fails. So the statement which you got here between that if tag, so will not execute. Yes. Okay. So for suppose if that a value is 200, now this time the condition is satisfied. So a is greater than 100, right? So this time it prints this statement. So sometimes while presenting the data, so you may need this kind of conditional constructs here while presenting the data. So you may need this kind of conditional constructs, so which are provided by this JSTL here. Now, a few people may have a doubt. Do we have else part also here? What if the condition fails? So in that case, can we execute any alternate instructions, or is there any option for that? I can say no. There is no such option. Okay, there is no such option. So it's just is it this kind of support is only provided to make sure that we can present the data here, access the Java objects and all. So this is all just for the sake of presentation. Okay, and for presentation this is more than enough. Okay, yes. So we will not build any serious business logics and all here in JSPs. That you're not going to do that. Yes. Okay, fine. So now let's move on. So I'll show you people how to build a switch case, how to build a switch case here using this JSTL tags. Yes. Okay, let's see. So in for that purpose, you see here, I'll be using this choose tag. So under the choose again, generally you'll use when tag. So when tag is similar to your case. So in the switch we'll add several cases, right? So add those cases, we'll use when tag. I'm sorry. So we'll be using when tag here. So to build each case. So to build each case, let's use that when tag. Yes. So dollar of, let's say, I'll make this value 20. Say if a is equal to 10, so I would like to print a value is 10. Each when tag, you can think of it as a case here. Okay. Yes. It's default case, I can say. That's it. So now I can say that we got three cases here. We got three cases. So for each case, we got a condition. We can have condition. Yes. Uh, okay, Naveen. Naveen and Aditya, just remind me after the class. And just mail me once from your mail IDs. So I will share the records. So Naveen is asking how can you people access the records. Sorry, I forgot. So just mail me, okay, after the class for Dropbox access. So I'll give it, okay. Yes. So you can also have the records of these classes. Yes. Fine. Okay. Yeah. So now let's if sorry, if I run this code here, then what happens? So you see a value, so a variable declare a is declared, right? And that a value is 20. The variable is a, and that value of a is simply 20. Yes. So you see the first condition will fail. A is equal to 10 will fail. A value is not 10, it's 20. So second condition will become true. So the statement associated to that when type, so you will execute the statement which is associated to that particular when type will execute. Yes. You see, once it executes, simply the control comes out of that choose, I can say, or selection. It won't execute the next case. We don't have any break statement or something like that here. Okay, it's pretty simple and straightforward. What if that if none of the conditions are true? What if none of the conditions are true? So if none of the conditions are true, then in that case, so the last case that otherwise will execute. You see that otherwise, you can think of it as a default case here. Otherwise, you can think of it as a default case. That's it. So let's run this code. Sorry, I guess I stopped the server. Sorry. You see, a value is 10. Sorry, a value is 20, right? Yeah. That's it. So this way we can use this when tag here. When and choose tags to create a switch. Okay, fine. Now we got another tag here, so which is also handy, I can say. That is especially used to work with strings. It is actually for each tokens. You got a tag called as for each tokens. Yes. So let's see the tag once. So I'll declare a variable. Let's say something like this, names. Uh, so it's a string with some names. You see, it's a string. That names is a variable which holds that string value. You got names, and that names are separated by comma. So the delimiter is comma. Names are separated by the delimiter, comma. Yes. So now what I want to do is here, I would like to split or divide the string based on that delimiter comma. Based on that delimiter comma. Okay. And read that tokens which you're going to get. After dividing that string into substrings, actually you'll get substrings. If you divide this string based on that delimiter comma, so you're going to get substrings, right? So you'll get substrings. We call them as tokens. So we'll divide this string into tokens, I can say, and we'll read that tokens. So for that you can use for each tokens, for tokens, not even for each tokens, for tokens, for tokens. So dollar of names delimiter is comma. Now we have to declare a variable, something like this. Let's say n. Here we are trying to divide that string based on that delimiter, that is comma. So if you divide that string into tokens, substring, or divide that string into tokens based on that delimiter comma, then how many tokens will get? 3 tokens, right? 3 tokens. So internally the tokens are substrings. They will be stored into an array. And now we can read that tokens through this for tokens itself. So for each iteration, it will simply read one token and it will store it into that variable, and for each iteration it reads one token and it will store it into that temporary variable, and now from that variable we can read that value. Okay. Yes, this is what you can do. Okay, you see, you got this tokens. So actually Let me just print each token in a separate line. I'll add a BR tag here. You see? Sorry. Fine. So, is it clear for you people? Any questions in this regard, please let me know. Okay. So this is about core tags. So the important tags I've discussed it. Fine. Next, we'll move on. We got function tags. So function tags, they're mainly used for strings itself, only for strings. Okay, only for strings. So if you want to work with strings, if you want to manipulate the strings, okay, you got this function tags which you can use purely just for strings. So here, first of all, if you want to use this function tags, you have to import that tag library. This is what you will be doing. You see, the second line, the taglet, which we are using here, we are trying to import that function tags. We're importing the function tags here. Yes. Now let's see how to work with this function tags. For suppose, let's say I got a variable, say msj, with some value this way. Hello, good morning. You see that variable holds the string value. Now we can manipulate that string using this function tags. So for suppose, so I would like to find the length of that string. That means how many characters you got in that string. The length of the string. That is what I want to find out. So what to do? So for that, you see, we use that function tag $of. Function tags are slightly different, okay? Fn colon length msg. Sorry. So it prints 19. So what we are doing, you see fn is a tag, sorry, prefix for that function tag, right? So use that prefix followed by that function name. So whatever the function you got, specify that function name. Okay, fn prefix colon function name, and you'll pass that string as input to that function. So this function, now what it does, so it will read that number of characters and prints that length here. That's it. Okay, you're passing that string here. Fine. Next, this is similarly for suppose, let's say I want to convert all the characters of the string into lowercase. I want to convert all the characters of that string into lowercase. So what to do? You got a function for that. Say to lowercase. So this is the function which you use, which you have to use here to convert all the characters of the string to lowercase. That's it. You see, now in that string all the characters are in lowercase now, right? Yeah. Similarly, we got a method a function I can say, I'm sorry, which will convert all the characters to uppercase. It will convert all the characters to uppercase here. Okay, yes. So to uppercase. Okay, you see, so all the characters are converted to uppercase here. Yes. So next, you know, we can use a trim function here to delete leading and trailing spaces if there are any. We can use a trim function to delete leading and trailing spaces here. So what are leading and trailing spaces? Yes. What are leading and trailing spaces? So what does that means? So leading and trailing spaces means, so you see the first characters in that string or the last characters of that string, if they are blank spaces, okay, in the beginning or ending of the string. So if you got any blank spaces, okay, so I want to make sure that they're deleted. Okay, I want to delete that leading and trailing spaces here. Yes. So you see, I'll add a space before the first now the first character here is a space, or even if you got any spaces in the last, if there are any such leading and trailing spaces, we can delete them. You see, that space is also considered as a character. So sometimes you see, for example, users may type in a username accidentally, they may give a space and type in. Now they won't see that space. Okay, they may not notice that space. They'll type in the username. Okay, so in that case, that username will have a blank space, so which is also considered as a character. So in that case, the username will not match. Even people may add a space after that username after typing. Accidentally, they may add a space. Okay, yes. So as of now, you see the length of this string should be 20, I guess, right? So what I will do is I'll use a function tag trim and we'll pass that message. So trim, what it does now, it will take that string and it will delete that leading spaces or trailing spaces if there are any. So it's going to delete the leading and trailing spaces if there are any. Yes. Now after removing that leading and trailing spaces, so we'll try to find out the length of that string here. Okay. Okay. Yes. So first it should print a 20 and after that it should print 19 because it will delete a leading space, right? You see, first 20. So after calling that trim function, so it will delete that trailing space. So it becomes 19 now. The length becomes 19. Sorry. So hope you people got it. Yes, that is how trim function works. Next, you know, we can replace a string or a character, a substring or a character here. Yes, you got a replace function. So replace, pass that string, so that old character, let's say morning, not it can be a character or string also. So let's say morning, I would like to replace it with evening. So this way you have to pass the parameters. So the first parameter which you have passed here, you see that string. The second parameter is the old string substring which you want to delete, that old substring, and you want to replace it with a new substring, right? So that new substring also we are passing here. That's it. So let's see. Now you see the original string is hello good morning, right? Now that morning is replaced with evening here. Yes. So hope you people got it. Yes, that is how replace works. Next, we got substring. So let's say you want to read a part of a string. You want to read part of a string. Yes, you can do that. Okay, we can read a part of a string. So in order to read a part of a string, for suppose let's say here you got this hello good morning, right? So I would like to read only this string good. What to do? If you want to read that string good, then you have to specify that index of that characters. So it starts with 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. So G is at index 6, so that should be the first character of that string which I would like to read. And till D I want to read it. Okay, till D I want to read 7 8 9. So D is at 9, right? But if you want to read the character till 9, so you have to specify the index as 10. Okay, the last character plus 1. So that is what you need to do. Okay, so we'll use that substring, pass that original string, and the first index is 6, the last index is 10. So the characters from 6 to 9, 10 minus 1, 6 to 9 will be read. Okay, yes. So it should print good now. That is what it is supposed to do. You see, this way we can read a part of a string, a substring, I can say. So any questions in this regard, please let me know. Okay, good. So, but this way, you see, you got different functions, okay, function tags which you can use to manipulate the strings. So now we have other function tags also. You can easily work with them now. You can just explore them. Now we'll talk about formatting tags here. Formatting tags, yes. Formatting tags, yes. So what are the different types of formatting tags which you got here? Let's see. So formatting tags, especially we use them for dates, sorry, dates and resource bundles. Okay, it's to work with dates and resource bundles. So first of all, you have to import that tag library here. FMT. So this is a prefix. You can use any prefix. That URI is important. So please make a note of this URI for formatting tags. Okay. So let's see the formatting tags here. Let's say if we got this use pin date. Can you people tell me what exactly we are doing here? You people are familiar with this use bin, right? So what exactly we are doing here with this use bin tag? So we are instantiating that date class here. We're instantiating the date class. So we're creating date class object. Am I right? So we are creating a date class object. And we are adding that date class object to which scope? Yes. Again, so the date class object, so it is added to which scope? To the page scope. Okay. So by default, if we create a date object, so what is the content which will be stored in the date object? Yes. So if we create a date object, So what is that content which will be stored in the date object? Yes. The current system date and time. So in the date object, by default, the current system date and time will be stored in the date object. Okay. So using the useBean tag, we are creating a date object which is added to the page scope, and in that date object you'll have the current system date and time. Now let's try to display the content which you have in that date object. So I can use expression language for this. You see, date, that's it, today, colon date. We got the date, Monday, October 19th. So this is what it displays. Yes. Okay. Next, actually here you see it is displaying that date in the standard format. Now this is not the format in which I want that date to be displayed. Okay. So I don't want the date to be displayed in this format here. Yes. And in which format you want the date to be displayed? Yes. So let's say I want it in DDMM by wave format. Okay. So I want to display the date in DDMM by wave format. So this is where you will use the formatting tag here. See, format date. Now you pass that date object reference here using the expression language and specify the pattern DDMM by wave. That's it. So what is the tag which you're using here? We're using that formatting tag, format date. The tag name is format date here. Yes. Okay. Yes. You see, you got the date in this format. So, sorry. So, hope this is clear for you people. What if I want to also display the time here? Then what to do? I would like to display the time as well. So for that, you can add the time also here. You see, HH colon, let's say minutes mm, seconds SS. So along with the date, so we can also add time. So we can do this. Okay, so this way we can format the dates using the formatting tag. Yes, so this is one of the tags which you got here. Next, you know, formatting tag also provides the support for working with the resource bundles or properties files. You can work with properties files or resource bundles here using the formatting tag, I can say. So I have got example here already. I'll show you people. You see this index page. Just a second, it's loading. So the index page. You see the title. We are not hard coding the title here. So in the struts framework, we used to do that, right? So I'm not hard coding the title here. So instead, we are reading some value for this. So we're reading that key. We are specifying a key name. Even the header also, you see, we are specifying some key here, message key. What is it? Where is that key? So that key you'll find it in the properties file actually. You'll find that key in the properties file, I can say. Yes. You got another key here, you see? Yes. So we are using a tag called as message. It's a formatting tag. So using that prefix, formatting tag prefix itself here, you see. Yes. Now we have a properties file here. I'll show you people. In the source folder, we have a package called as resources. Under that package, so I've created this properties file with the name application. So the properties file name can be anything you wish. It need not be a application. The properties file name can be anything. Now you see in this properties files, now we have that key value pairs or name value pairs, I can say. See, these are the keys. You can check that keys. Now you see the keys which you got here. So we can read them in this page. For that, first of all, you have to load that properties file here. You have to load that properties file. Yes. Okay. So we have to load that properties file. Again, to load that properties file here into this page, so we are using the set bundle tag. We're using the set bundle tag here. Yes. Okay. We're using set bundle tag, and that base name attribute is used to specify the properties file name here. So I'll specify the properties file name. So resources is the package name, dot application is the properties file name. So we don't use that extension dot properties. So once you see you load that properties file here, so you can make use of it. You can simply make use of it here. So using that message tag of that formatting tag, that's a formatting tag, message tag. So which is used to read that keys from the properties file. So now using two tags here. One is set bundle tag to load the properties file, and the other one is message tag here to read the keys from the properties file. Okay, so let me just display this page once. Actually, that index.jsp is displayed by default here. The index.jsp page is displayed, so you can see that content. So this way, the formatting type, so provides the support to format dates and all here in the JSP page. So along with it, you see, we also got the support to work with the resource bundles or properties files. We say resource bundle, or it is actually called as a properties file here. Yes. So hope this is clear for you people. So any questions in this regard? So can I assume that this is clear for you people, all of you? So now you see, you got a very good insight into this JSPs, I can say. So you should be able to use them to present the data and all in the web pages. Fine. So now there are SQL tags which are not much important, but still have to talk. I will discuss about it, but we'll do it in the next class. Okay. So first, for few minutes, so I'll talk about that SQL tags, and then we'll start with Hibernate framework tomorrow. Okay. Yes. So that's all for today now. Let's meet tomorrow at our regular time and we'll continue the discussion. I'm not sure what's the problem. So why you're not able to access last two records in the Dropbox folder? Yours is this one, right? So say 17th is there. Okay. I guess I missed it here. Okay. So I'll upload it. I'm sorry. So let me upload it. Okay. Yes. So 18th record. We had a special class for that thread programming, right? Yeah. Sorry. So if you don't find it, please remind me as soon as possible. So what I did is actually I've merged two batches and conducted the class on that day, right? So the thing is, I've added it to this folder. Forgot to add it to that folder. Yes, let me copy them. Okay, now you'll find it. So I'll delete some old records. There are a lot of records here. So let me make sure that I'll delete the old records. I've uploaded it. After a few minutes, you'll find it. Okay. Yes. I'll delete some old records first. So let's meet tomorrow and we'll continue our discussion. Okay. Yes. Fine. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Yes.